this is a 5-gallon bucket here of just food scraps that I've collected over the last couple days. And then on top of it I put the IMO, like you see all that dust stuff, like here, this dust is the IMO. And so now I can see there's soldier flies coming in. That's a mature soldier fly coming here to lay her eggs, because this thing is really potent. I still got a bunch of these types of flies too, which is an indication that there's E. coli here. And these maggots are actually from this kind of fly, like that fly, so it's not necessarily the beneficial maggots here yet, because these aren't soldier fly larvae. But the idea here is that, I can just take a bucket and house scraps and rot them. There is actually some rotten fish in the bottom and some other kind of potent meals in here, but I can ferment all this stuff in here, this bucket, and then this would be prime pig food, because I've just gotten protein out of the air, right? I took stuff that was just house scraps, food scraps, and all this protein flew out of the air, and now it's in my bucket there. So if I have a couple of these buckets going and I rotate them at the right thing and I make sure it's clean before I feed it to the pigs, i.e. like soldier flies are clean, they use an antibiotic to clean themselves, and I'm not sure about these maggots, but nonetheless I'm able to get much more protein out of the air via this direct rotting method, grow a lot of protein, and then feed this as a pig food. So anyway, doing research here on the farm. It's a beautiful day looking over Hilo. Got a lot of things growing out here. My taro's coming along. I grow a bunch of trees to mulch with. Cassava coming in. Things are looking good.
Interview? Sure.
So, one thing I ask people a lot is, what's the biggest ag revelation or idea or thought form or thing that has to do with agriculture that's come to you in the past year?
I think the biggest thing for me has been, actually very recently, I've been really struggling with the idea of home. And like trying to figure out where my home is, where is home for me, and how am I a part of home. And so I just got back from this long trip up in the Northwest Islands, and I'm back on the Big Island where I was living before, and in a really uprooted place. And I had to make a decision without making a decision. Without signing a contract for myself, and that was basically to fall in love with the place, and so that I could actually become a part of that place. And so I guess how this all relates, it was kind of a revelation, because as soon as I claimed that for myself, I felt ready to call this place home. And for me, home has its roots in agriculture. And from agriculture comes culture, comes human culture, comes community. And so that's a big revelation for me, because I grew up in a city, and I'm learning how I'm bringing myself together with other people through sharing visions of growing food. And so that's been the big thing, is the more time I find myself committing my time and energy and love towards growing food, the more at home I feel. And that's like a comfort, but also a source of strength that I've been lacking in my life. It's like, oh my gosh, it's happening, I'm building it. And that's it.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, learning how to bring people together, and food is a big part of it. So where you say it's comfort, it's home, is growing food and eating food with people you like, and surround yourself in that way. Yeah, that resonates, because where do you find home today? It's like we're all these global travelers, right? But it's where I think, where I can sustain myself and feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've always been like, where do I do that? You know, you can choose anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wait, where am I now? You know, like you said the other day, now. And it's like, yeah, this is where I am. This is where I found myself. I can't really yet say why, but you know, it's. Someone said to me recently, who you are is where you're at, and where you're at is where you gotta be. And that was really, it was just really reaffirming. Of like, I gotta do it now. What am I waiting for? Start growing food now. See what happens from that. You know, everything else comes from that.
Yeah. You got 15 more seconds to make it 5 minutes. Anything else you want to say? What's your 10-second pitch to the world? Go.
Don't let time pressure you.